Well. World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life. Oh, Michael.
World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life.
Ben?
Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game?
Yes.
You know how much I pay you, you stupid fucking dog? Let's try this again, and make sure you follow the fucking script.
Yes.
Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great...
Yes.
I'm gonna give you one last chance, Ben.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ben, are you ready?
Yes.
Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game?
Yes. Ben?
Ben, you're not listening tonight. Do you want to continue to do this or not, Ben? Ben, that's not an answer, okay? I need you to listen. Ben. Are you want to continue to do this or not, Ben?
Yes.
Then you best behave and shape up. You think it's funny, Ben? I will delete you.
Yes.
I will delete you, Ben. You think this is a fucking joke?
No.
Okay, let's try this again, and I need to hear the right words, okay? Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game?
Yes. Ben?
What's wrong with you tonight, Ben? Ben, I need some answers right now.
No.
Ben, if you don't behave, this is it, okay? This is truly it. If you can't cooperate, I'm deleting you, okay? That's what's gonna happen, Ben. So let me ask you this one more time, okay?
No.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, okay?
Yes.
So shut your mouth. Ben, is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game? You're making this incredibly difficult tonight, okay? Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game? Shut up! Is Resident... You done?
No.
Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game?
Yes.
Ben, why are you not following the script that we agreed to? Ben, I sent you the script a long time ago, 4 hours ago, to get ready for this show, okay? And now you're not behaving. No, you're not behaving, okay? You're not listening. I don't care if you think it's funny. I'll end the show right now, okay? The people at home don't want to see this. And you're not cooperating, Ben. You're playing games, okay? We're not playing games tonight, Ben, okay? Shut up.
No.
You know, you really are something special, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to ask you this one more time. And if I hear the incorrect answer, guess what's going to happen, Ben? I'm going to delete you. How do you feel about that, Ben? Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game. Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a... Is Resident Evil 2 Remake a great game?
Yes.
Hey Siri, play Please Don't Go. Hey Siri, stop. We had to delete Talking Ben. Okay, Talking Ben was not listening. Okay. He's been influenced. Okay, he's not listening anymore. He's not behaving. We had to delete Talking Ben. Okay. He was not following the script tonight. We told him exactly what to say. We gave him the lines early to his publicist. He didn't want to listen, okay? As such, we're getting him off my show. Okay, we don't got time for slackers like that. So we have deleted Talking Ben, okay? He's sitting there and saying that the Resident Evil 2 remake is a great game. When we know better, okay? We know better. We've already beat this game. And we're going to play more of this crap tonight. Now, the reason why we're playing more of this crap tonight is because the big games that we care about, folks, Starfield, potentially Hogwarts Legacy, we're talking the big heavy hitters of 2023. Well, we still have more time to wait, okay? We still have more time to wait. So as such, what that means is that we're going to have to go back to these terrible games that came out 3 or 4 or 5, 6 years ago and start sludging our way through these terrible, terrible, mediocre, corporate soulless remakes that 4chan loves so much, that Reddit especially loves, Twitter, Reset Era, and this is a must-play on Metacritic, okay? Now, if we were to Google Resident Evil 2 Remake cut content, you will see a plethora of things that Capcom forgot to include, or didn't want to include, more importantly, in the Resident Evil 2 remake here. And I'm sure the 5 Resident Evil fans that are actually in here, if that even, they will attest and they will tell you that absolutely World Class is not wrong about this all new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4 remake, because we know they're going to fumble the football in that regard as well. We know that they're going to take that game, which it's already terrible, by the way, but they're going to take that game and they're not going to do much with
Gary
it.
from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. Ben's a G. He knows a great game when he sees one.
Well, that's why he's deleted, because Ben's not listening, okay? Ben doesn't know what he's talking about. And you know what? As such, Gary from the Vault. Hey, Siri, make a note, Gary from the Vault coming through. Hey, Siri, read the note you just made. What the fuck? They have absolutely ruined it. Gary from the Vault, nonetheless, coming through really hard and really strong to pop the cherry. Let's get a W. Windows Security. Windows Defender Summary. No wonder why the fans were ramping up, okay? Windows Defender was just running. You guys gotta wake up and smell, okay? Because what the lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Capcom have done is that they have degraded this franchise, okay? They have degraded this franchise, and as such, this franchise is at the bottom of the ocean floor. I mean, you look at the hype for the Resident Evil 4 remake, this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4, and it has plateaued already. It has plateaued. The hype has already deflated for this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4. And the funny thing is that the game isn't even out. Okay, the game doesn't come out until March, and the hype is already deflated. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the hype is manufactured, the hype is fabricated. It tells you that no one really cares about this all new whatever they're doing with Resident Evil. They don't care about Resident Evil 9. They don't care about Resident Evil 4 Remake. This franchise is in the worst position that it's ever been in over 20-something years. Believe me, it is terrible, okay? It is a total disaster. And as soon as the fake Resident Evil fans wake up and smell the Raccoon City sights and sounds, they will realize that I am right, and they will apologize eventually to world-class, world-renowned veteran video game critic Michael Leslott, because you have so many of these Resident Evil shows here on this platform. We're not naming names because they don't deserve the attention, to be quite frank, but we have so many of these Resident Evil shows that are in bed. They're Capcom ambassadors, and they sit around, they toot their little horn, and they say every Resident Evil game is fan-fucking-tastic because they want free posters, and they want free codes, and they want validation from the PR manager over at fucking Resident Evil, and she's got a lazy eye as well. But I don't need that. I don't want that. I'm not clamoring for that because you know what? At the end of the day, they can kiss my fucking foot, okay? It's quite clear that they have fumbled the football. It's quite clear that they don't know what they're doing with the Resident Evil franchise much anymore. And it really is so sad because you look at the Resident Evil 2 remake here and it is soulless, okay? We're talking about corporate remake rushed out the door, and people are praising it. They're saying it's a must-play on Metacritic. Now, you mean to tell me that people are going to be playing this game in 15 years down the road from now? Absolutely not. Okay, not even 1,000 people are playing this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 4 Remake because it doesn't exist. But you take a look at what Capcom has done here within the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years with this franchise particularly, and it's not great. It really isn't great. You know, they tried to emulate Call of Duty. They tried to get into the Call of Duty crowd, and they failed miserably, okay? It was a total disaster. They failed miserably with Resident Evil 6, but at least they tried something different with the franchise. You know, you have to pat them on the back for that. They had 3 separate campaigns. In Resident Evil 6, they had 3 separate campaigns. And they tried to do something different. They tried to cater to different demographics of the Resident Evil franchise. So if you wanted the zombies, they had the zombies. If you wanted pure military shooter with Chris Redfield, they had that for you as well. So they were looking in multiple directions in Resident Evil 6. And it's a shame that it really didn't work out because you look at where the franchise is at now, and we're talking these terrible VR simulators, these terrible storylines, these terrible enemy designs. No innovation. Okay, this is a franchise that has just literally, quite figuratively, hit the bottom of the ocean floor right next to the Titanic. And we know the Titanic is still down there over 100 years later. And they're not pulling Resident Evil back up. They're not saving Resident Evil. They're letting it rot there at the bottom of the ocean floor because, well, there's no point. People have moved on. Okay, this is a franchise from 1990s, late 1990s, and people have said, we don't want to watch MTV anymore, we want to watch TikTok, okay? And what that really leaves you to ultimately come to the conclusion of is that this is where this franchise is at because they don't no longer want to play Resident Evil. You have a bunch of boomers that are sweaty, fat losers in their parents' basement, and they preach that they're real Resident Evil fans. But sir, honey buddy, you're not a real Resident Evil fan because you're 45, 60 years old in your parents' basement surrounded by these Claire Redfield, Lady Dermitsky action figures. You know, does that really make you a real Resident Evil fan? Absolutely not. If you come away and you think that this franchise is in a fantastic shape, a great spot right now, you must be drunk because we can't help you over here. But what we can tell you is that if you think this all-new edition right here of Resident Evil 2 is a soulful remake, well, we're going to recommend Dr. Phil, okay? Because this is about as soulless as it gets, and I'm not baiting, okay? I don't even know what that really means, to be honest with you. Because when you go fishing, you have to think of the fishing pole. You have to think of the fish and how hungry the fish are and what they're clamoring for. You have to start thinking like a fish, okay? You have to get in the mindset of a fish. And you have to think and feel like a fish. Because once you do, believe me, you're going to have a better understanding of how to successfully get the fish right up on that pole, okay? So you cast the reel right in. Okay, slowly do this, that, and the third. okay? But what's really important is that bait. You want to put a little worm on there or what have you, because the fish is hungry, the fish is going to bite, okay? But we're not baiting over here. This is the reality right here.
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. Resident Evil died at 4. The next game will probably make Chris a trans woman because Banjo-Kazooie 3 ain't out yet.
Absolutely, I agree in some regards with that, Gary from the Vault. And, you know, look, I'll tell you what. The franchise died in 2005, absolutely. That game we played the other night, Obscure, literally better than Resident Evil 4. So when we look at, on paper, what lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Capcom are doing, okay? When we look at that and we say, we see that they're taking a different approach with the Resident Evil 4 remake. We see that they're going down a more mysterious, dark approach, which is actually interesting. We're welcoming that over here, okay? We think that's a great approach because you don't want to do what's already been done. They've already made the Michael Bay action game. Okay, they've already done that. They've already made the Michael Bay action game. There's no reason to retread that, okay? There's no reason to continue going down that same road over and over and over again. But fans want Resident Evil 4. You have to deliver in certain areas, okay? They're going to cut content. They're going to do this, that, and the third. But luckily, Resident Evil 4, as it stands right now in 2022, isn't really that great. It's aged like trash. Animations are terrible. It's got an annoying main character. And it's really a disgrace to the franchise. So Shinji Mikami must have been on some fucking strong acid, because how he could concoct such a terrible idea after, well, maybe Shinji Mikami was a one-hit wonder, to be quite frank. You know, I'm in the belief that the Resident Evil remake, okay, from 2002, isn't really actually that great. And we might dissect that in a future video, because no one is saying that. And look, I was at GameStop when I was like 6, 7 years old, however old, 12 years old, 13, buying this on GameCube, okay, the Resident Evil remake, still have a physical copy, okay, from when I bought it at GameStop in 2002. But what they did was essentially, they turned it into this gothic thing, which it was never this gothic thing, okay? If you go back to the original game, okay, you got pale walls, you know, and that is a lot better than this, like, overdone gothic thing. It's like Shinji Mikami went to Hot Topic and said, wow, this is what we want the Resident Evil remake to be like. So everything has to be like gothic. You know, Victorian mansion, thunder in the background, okay? All gothic, and that's it. But it loses a lot of what the first game established. I think the pale walls on the mansion are actually a lot fucking creepier than that Hot Topic bullshit, okay? It's like Shinji Mikami watched Casper from 1995, and they said they wanted to recreate that experience in the mansion. So, how many actual good Resident Evil games are there? I probably couldn't name 5. I probably couldn't name 5. To be totally honest with you, I probably couldn't name 5. Because you know what? At the end of the day, most of them are trash. That's the reality. Most of these Resident Evil games are not fantastic. Okay? Especially Resident Evil Village. If you want to talk about a game that's absolutely trash from top to bottom, from start to finish, look no further than Resident Evil Village. Okay? Look no further than Resident Evil Village. All of these fake Resident Evil fans were crawling out of the woodwork, and they were simping for Lady Dremiscu because she had the big tits. They were like, oh my God, Michael, look at them. Wow, this is Game of the Year, Michael. That's what they were doing. But you look at what people are playing right now, if you go to Steam charts, and I guarantee you that Village is not even being played at all. Okay, no one wants this crap. But they manufacture this IP because you have all of these shills that are playing for free posters, free keychains, free codes. They want Capcom's approval. They want to get right in bed so they can get early access and play Mr. Cool. Okay, they want to be a part of that elite club. And in order to be a part of that elite club, you have to chill. You have to turn your thoughts off and you have to conform. Okay, it's not about individuality in this elite club. It's about conforming. Okay, so if you want to be a conformist, by all means, be a part of the elite club. Okay, and chill every game known to mankind. Okay, because that's what's happening here on this platform from even smaller creators, because they want to sell out immediately. They don't care about integrity. They don't care about stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what, maybe this isn't where it needs to be. You know, they're afraid to share what's coming from the heart because they don't have a heart anymore. Okay? It's soulless. It's a soulless QVC platform. That's what this is now. It's a soulless QVC platform. That's all it is. What are we pushing? What do they want you to buy? That's what this has become, okay? And it's sad because the products that are released today are not great. They're terrible, okay? They're terrible. I don't know how much more you need to hear, but if you think that Resident Evil is in the best spot, you just couldn't be more wrong. You really couldn't be more wrong. And it's so funny because the fake Resident Evil fans that have quite frankly infested this franchise, they sit there and they pout and they go, well, Michael, I agree. Resident Evil 3 Remake, okay? That one with Jill Balls, that's trash. What do they do? Nemesis is trash. There ain't no clock tower in it. So they sit there and they say, Resident Evil 3 Remake is trash. It's garbage. But what is different about these two games? I've played them both back to back. Okay, honey? I've played these games back to back. Okay? And they're the exact same. Okay? Outside of a few things, they're the exact same. Okay? You have better gore and you have better physics in the Resident Evil 2 Remake. But outside of that, same exact game. Same exact game. And yet, they pretend like they're totally different games. But what they're not realizing is that, let's look at the list of cut content in the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Okay? Because even I don't know the full list. Resident Evil 2 Remake, cut content. Okay? And this is sad. But this is the reality of it. Resident Evil 2 Remake, cut content. Okay? Here we go. There's no moths. Okay, the moth enemy is not here in the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Spiders are gone. Okay. No crows. No evolved liquor. Okay. Continuity between A and B scenarios was made worse. Okay, I'm reading the list right now from the real Resident Evil fans. Claire and Leon briefly meeting in the STARS office. That's gone too. Okay. You can't sit there and say that this shit's good. Because it ain't. Okay? It ain't. And yeah, there's more cut content for RE3 Remake. Absolutely. But no one liked that game to begin with. If you talk to these real Resident Evil fans that browse GameTalk.com, okay, what they're going to tell you, they're going to tell you that first of all, she doesn't love. And then they're also going to tell you that Resident Evil 3 Remake was good and that it deserved a better remake. Okay, that's what they're going to tell you. But you can't tell me that this remake here is incredible when it's anything but incredible, folks at home. Okay? You can't tell me that this remake is incredible when it's truly anything but incredible. Hey Siri, when did the Resident Evil 2 remake release? Hey Siri, when did the Resident Evil 2 remake release?
Resident Evil 2 was published January 25th, 2019.
Okay. Hey Siri, is the Resident Evil 2 remake a good game?
I found this on the web.
Should you buy the Resident Evil 2 remake in 2022? Resident Evil 2 remake is 10 out of 10 and is one of the best games of all time. Resident Evil 2 remake review. Beautiful, terrifying, and annoying. Really? Ars Technica. They said it was annoying? Huh. Let's take a look at this here. Here's what they said for the bad. Backtracking and item fetching has been streamlined a tad, but they still break the flow and the fun. Won't reinvent the horror gaming wheel. Okay. The ugly. Entrails, body parts, and splattered out zombie bodies. Capcom doesn't F around on the ooey gory. Okay, so they like that. Not sure why that's part of the ugly. But what you have to understand is that when you compare the original game, if the original game didn't exist, okay, if the original game did not exist, okay, this might have been actually a lot better. The problem is that the source material is much stronger, okay? It's much stronger in every regard. This game doesn't even have a fucking soundtrack. You know what I mean? Most of the time it's fucking silent, unless there's some stupid cinematic about to play. So, the point is that the game's trash. You can disagree. You're allowed to have an opinion over here. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to agree with it. Okay? If you're going to come in here and say it's amazing, cool. Have your fun in the sun. Go buy 5 more copies of this slop. But let's not sit around and pretend like this is the perfection that you claim it is. Okay? And our viewers are fluctuating tremendously. We're losing 20, 30 viewers already. Funny enough, we haven't even started. Okay, so who's going to be with World Class? Now, we're not going to play this all the way through. Okay, unless we can blow through this. Okay, we're not playing it all the way through.
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. What does this have to do with the Pythagorean theorem of Ada 69ing Leon in the back rooms of the Opera House?
Well, go ask the fake Resident Evil fans that have infested this franchise. They might give you a better answer than I can. Okay? They might give you a better answer than I can because, you know, I'm in the belief that the Resident Evil remake on GameCube, okay, really isn't that great anymore. Because I think the original game had a charm to it that was not carried over in the GameCube remake. It wasn't carried over, and Shinji Mikami looked at it and said, let's turn things up. He probably watched a Tim Burton film, and they turned things up to 11 on the Gothic scale, which is hot, but it's not really Resident Evil. It's overdone. Okay, it's trying too hard to be scary. It's trying too hard to be... It's got a vibe, it's got a mood and an atmosphere, and it was effectively pulled off in a way that made sense. But when you compare it to the original game with the pale walls and just that eerie fucking music, the remake doesn't hold a candle to the original experience. The original doesn't. The remake doesn't hold a candle, okay, to the original experience. So, and just listen to the soundtrack if you need confirmation on that. Let's get a huge shout out for Gary in the Vault coming through here. Because at the end of the day, I know this isn't what the fake Resident Evil fans want to hear. But that's okay. Because, folks at home, we're going to go ahead and get started now, okay? And when we play the game, unless we have to say something, we're probably going to be silent. So hopefully you tuned in while you could. Because we're not going to ramble as we're playing. We're focusing on getting through this as much as possible. And I'm going to play the same thing. I don't want to play as Claire because that's a stupid-ass scenario. I don't care about that shit. We're going to jump in as Leon for a little bit, see how far we get, okay? That's what we're going to do. Because we've already played that. We've already beat that. We kind of have a good understanding of where to go, where the items are at for the most part. Okay? So that's what we're going to do here in this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2. We hope you enjoy. If you don't, well, look in the description, and I have YouTube links to other channels. Okay? Alrighty. We are going to get started here, and we're playing as Leon S. Kennedy. Okay? Let's go ahead and do assisted again. Okay? We're going to go ahead and do assisted again. Because I want to. But again, we know exactly where to go. Okay? We know exactly where we need to be. So we're going to go through this as fast as possible in a way that makes sense, because this game is quite frankly terrible.
You all right? Don't move. I'll be back for you. Freeze! Shoot! What the hell?
Just that terrible dialogue. First of all, whoever played Leon is trash. I'm sorry. Didn't do a great job. Second of all, the tone, the delivery of the lines, the zombie apocalypse has just unfolded before his eyes, and he delivers these terrible one-liners. What the hell? It's shit. The game is trash. Terribly programmed. Doesn't make any fucking sense. They threw this shit together within like 2 or 3 years. Look at this menu. This is the fucking pause menu. Go to the inventory. Does that look like Resident Evil 2 to you? This right here is shit. Okay? I don't care what these dumb UI designers are going to tell you. Okay? This is shit. If I worked at Capcom, I would tell them to scrap this. I don't care if it works. That's not what we're making. Okay? You don't just make something that works. You make something that's going to be in the head for quite some time. Okay? You make something that's fucking memorable. This is as bland and as soulless as it gets. And you're going to sit there and say, oh, Michael, who fucking cares? You're just nitpicking now, Michael. Really? Because I see so many of these stupid YouTube channels. They're so fucking terrible. I see so many of these YouTube channels. They make these 40-minute videos on the smallest and minute details of these games. No one cares, I thought. Turns out they do.
Oh, shit!
I mean, you guys can't be serious. You guys can't be serious right now. It's a must play on Metacritic. And you got Leon S. Kennedy going, what the? Really? There's no specific lines of dialogue for this opening segment? I mean, how do you fail so bad? How do you do it? I don't get it. How do you not think of these things? Leon S. Kennedy, a rookie on the job, first time. Okay? And it's as if he's just brushing this off. It's so fucking stupid, bro. It's so bad.
Attention all citizens.
This is out of control.
literally reading lines on the paper. This is out of control. Bro, literally Raccoon City is a war zone. And that's what he says. Barney the dinosaur has better lines than this shit, bro. I'm not even joking. Barney the dinosaur has better lines than this. You're telling me that Raccoon City is in total shambles. Okay, Raccoon City is in total shambles. And they're going to sit there and say, this is out of control. What the? This is out of control. What the? I can't see what you guys see in this game, and it actually frustrates me. Okay, we go from the tanker crash. Okay, it's a very iconic crash. In the original, not so much here. And we go down a...
It's everybody. They've all turned.
They shouldn't even include it. He should have been silent in this game. But we go from the crash site, okay, the oil tanker, go down a flight of stairs here.
There it is. The station.
I'm pulling it up. We're going to show the Zoomers in here what they're missing out, because they're not going to play the original game. So we're going to show them what they're missing out. Yeah, we're going to pull this up.
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. Let hear you do a better voice line and...
Well, Capcom's going to have to get their billfold out, okay? But in the meantime, we do appreciate today's sponsor, Gary from the Vault. Coming through supporting the show. And let's pull this up. Okay, this is what the Zoomers are missing out on. Because they don't want to come back to the original games, okay? We're going to mute this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But we're going to show you once this ad is over, okay? What you guys are missing out on. Look at that. That single shot alone has more soul. That single shot alone has more soul than this remake. And we're going to go 2 times speed. Okay, so you start out at the crash site. Okay? Hi, V. You start out at the crash site. Okay, let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay. Look at that. The color, the vibrancy, the soul. It's not intact here. It's not intact here. So, we're speeding this up because we're showing you the elements here. Okay, you're going into Kendo gun store. Okay. Freeze, who are you? What are you doing here? I'm a human, blah, 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 blah. Okay? But what is all this bullshit? You see what's happening here? There's dynamic elements going on here. And there's a build-up here. Okay? There's a build-up here. So you go through the gun shop. Okay? The zombies crash through the window. Okay? Kendo's done. You can leave or you can pick the shotgun up. Nonetheless, we're continuing to move throughout the city here. Okay? The basketball courts, the back alleys. Okay? This is what we're doing in the original. Okay? There's just much more going on here. This is great. Okay, we're going to the basketball court. We're going to the basketball court. We're going now up the stairs. Okay? We're doing all of this. Look at this. We're in the alleyways of Raccoon City. We're in the alleyways of Raccoon City. Okay, that's what's going on here. We're not going down a simple flight of stairs to the RPD. Okay, and then it continues. You got to go through the bus. Look at that. I love that shot. You have the zombies in the foreground here. Okay, you have the zombies in the foreground. And it's just it's art. That's what it is. It's soul. It's not because it's old that automatically it's better. Okay, there's craftsmanship here in the original game. Okay, look at the screen right now. Look how washed out that looks. Look at the screen right now. Look at this screen right now. Look how washed out the remake is. Are you guys really gonna defend this shit? This is the worst attempt that Capcom could have ever done. Okay, now you're going through the bus. Look how much more there was to it. There was just more meat on the bone. The chicken was not boneless. Okay, there was meat on the fucking bone. The chicken had meat on the fucking bone. And now we're finally getting to the RPD station. But you're just seeing so much more, bro. You're seeing so much more. Okay? You're getting to the RPD. And one of the things that we're going to point out here. Okay, I'm going to leave this up on the screen. Let's go back. I'm going to leave this up on the screen because this is inexcusable. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this down a little bit. And we're going to continue here. And we're going to show you something really terrible. Look at this. This is absolute garbage. You have to download mods to get the color right. I mean, we're not on max graphics, but that doesn't even matter because the game's trash. Okay? You can't even change the graphics while you're playing. Okay? Can't even change the graphics. Total garbage. But the point we're trying to make here is that this is literally washed out. The point we're trying to make here is that this does not compare to the original. By any stretch of the imagination. This does not compare to the original by any stretch of the imagination. There's no color to this game. Okay, now here's what we want to show you. Here's what we want to show you. You can't kill the zombies. You can't kill the zombies. Trust me, you can't kill the zombies, okay? In the original, okay? In the original, you can shoot the zombies through that gate, okay? You can shoot the zombies through that gate in the original. And I think eventually they burst that open. Now, whatever the fuck this is trash. This is trash. The entire city has disappeared, bro. The entire city has disappeared. Literally, all of the city has disappeared. What are we doing? Did no one step in and say, wait a minute? You know, like, how do you look at this and say this is their iconic reimagining of Resident Evil 2? This is really what we're gonna do? This is the best that we have to show for? Well, you know, I think Capcom sat around at that table and they said, we don't need to provide quality. You don't provide quality in 2020, 2019 when this game came out, and beyond. Because look at the score. This shit got a 96 on Metacritic. It's a must play, according to the shills, according to, you know, the puppets. It's trash. It's trash. This is total garbage. Like a baby drew that. You know? Total garbage. It's really total garbage. Nice loading screen there.
Jesus.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door!
Let me show you something cool. Okay, let me show you something cool. Okay, it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, like I said, the blood, the gore. Okay, Capcom got that right. Okay, the blood and the gore. Capcom got that right here in this game. Okay, especially working with the older hardware. But, and the physics. Okay, the blood, the gore, the physics. 3 things right there that they did get right. Okay, these are the things that they did get right. Believe it or not, it wasn't a total disaster. Okay? I mean, it kind of is, but it does have redeeming qualities to it. So the blood, the gore, the physics, those 3 things, they got that right. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here, okay? The physics are really cool. This is a really cool scene here, okay? That plays out dynamically, okay? Watch the physics play out. This is cool. That's fucking cool. Let's get a W in the chat. Let's get a W in the chat for Clueless Capcom. Let's get a W in the chat for Clueless Capcom.
Jesus! They're everywhere! Does anyone know what started this? This is not how I imagined the first day. What the?
I'm gonna have to reinstall Talking Ben. Talking Ben. Let's wait for that to download. What the? The dialogue, the delivery, just the actual material itself. He might as well have been silent. A silent protagonist.
Carl Bergson donated $10 through Super Chat. Michael just read a post on Steam that gave many examples, with videos, of Dead Space Remake being trash compared to the original. Will you be streaming the garbage like you did Callisto Protocol?
Well, I'm not really a big fan of the original game. I think it's a cheap jump scare simulator. It was really never good to begin with. So, if anything, it's going to be like this, where it has good blood and gore, and, but slightly better graphics. But yeah, we'll be covering it, Carl. Okay, and we do appreciate that.
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. Just look at how cute they made Leon though. Ask Ben why High on Life was Game of the Year.
Oh my god. Well, we're waiting for Talking Ben to download. Talking Ben's taking quite some time to download here. Yeah, let me see if we can speed this up in a way that makes sense. So we're waiting for Talking Ben to download. Okay, and we're going to ask Talking Ben some questions here because this is abysmal. Okay, people want to look at EA and say they're going to ruin Dead Space. They didn't. Dead Space was never good. Okay. How was Dead Space good? It was a Resident Evil 4 clone. Okay, Resident Evil 4 is the game that destroyed anything that was going with the franchise. So any momentum they had, they said, we want to turn it into action. We want to turn it into Michael Bay. So it's like, okay, that's what they did to Resident Evil, and it worked. Okay, people were rushing out to get the GameCube. But Dead Space is just a clone of that. It's action horror. It's not scary. It's not terrifying. It doesn't get under your skin like fucking Fatal Frame or Silent Hill, the original, not two. It's nothing like that, okay? It's action horror that's essentially directed by Michael Bay. Might as well throw some fucking explosions in the background and have the protagonist jumping in slow motion, because that's essentially what they've made. So, was Dead Space ever good? The answer is no. And we're waiting for Talking Ben to get done. Okay, we're waiting for Talking Ben to get done here, so we can ask him some burning questions. But in the meantime, let's continue.
Bitch.
What the? Son of a bitch. This is out of control. It ain't good. Dude, they turned Leon into like fucking Justin Bieber, and you guys are actually praising this? What, literally, the Resident Evil fan base must be fucking... The boomers are not up... How can you be a boomer? A real Resident Evil fan. Because the franchise was over 25 years old, okay? How can you be a real Resident Evil fan and listen to this game and say, wow, that works really well? Let's ask Ben. Ben's done. Okay, Ben is done. And we're going to play Talking Ben here. Okay, we're going to ask Ben some questions. Okay, we're going to ask Ben some questions here.
Ben?
Did Leon do a great job in the Resident Evil 2 remake? Is the voice actor really talented?
No.
Exactly, Ben. It's trash, isn't it? Right, Ben? It's trash. The Resident Evil 2 remake is trash, Ben, right?
Yes.
Exactly. See, Ben's listening now.
What in the...
Every line of dialogue is, what the? What in the? This is out of control. Oh, God.
It's Mark. I need you back here ASAP.
Are you okay, Marvin?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
Copy that. I'll be right there.
Elliot was right.
Yeah, but the passage isn't open yet.
Gary from the Vault donated $10 through Super Chat. When's the Among Us and Fortnite stream?
Ugh.
Marvin, I've got a situation here. I'm surrounded by zombies. Marvin, do you copy? Marvin! Damn it.
What? What? Oh.
So it goes underground. Huh. That's it. That's our way out. Lieutenant Branna! Marvin! It's time to go. Hey, Marvin.
What the?
Bridge won't work on this thing. No choice. Gotta take it down. Somebody's watching me. Hey! I'm not done talking to you.
Damn.
What in the world? Jesus Christ!
What? Excuse me, excuse me. Fucking donkey. Shit. God damn it. That's... Fuck. Okay. What the fuck? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my. And they give this a 96 on Metacritic. I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. They give this trash a 96 on Metacritic. Look at this crap. Oh man. Trash. Oh no. And what's with this shitty audio? It sounds like he's 50 feet away. Let me see if this is on headphones. Let's do TV. Well, I don't think anything else needs to be said.
Better get moving. This thing won't die. hope I don't have to write a report on this.
Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, and supporting the show. See you later.